I was invisible until I wasn't. At my sister's wedding, her father-in-law, Victor Crane, glided past me like I was a ghost, his eyes scanning the room for someone worth his time. In a tailored blazer, whiskey in hand, I stood there, unnoticed, harboring a secret he'd never guess. Victor, a man who probably etched his signature in marble, had spent months chasing a tech startup he didn't know I'd co-founded, a company his empire leaned on, one I'd clawed from nothing while piecing my sister's life back together. He saw only a shadow in a suit. That was his mistake. In minutes, I'd take the mic for an unscheduled speech, introduce myself, and watch his world tilt. His jaw tightened, his glass trembled, and I just smiled. The hardest part of grief isn't the silence, it's the scream before it. The phone call that splits your life in two. For me, it was my advisor's voice, low and heavy. Elliot, there's been a crash. Your mother's gone. I was 23, fresh from exams, planning a summer with my sister Mara, who was 16, one test away from her high school diploma. Our father had vanished years ago, chasing dreams with a new family. Suddenly, it was just us, two kids staring down a future that had collapsed overnight. The funeral was a haze of condolences. The aftermath was razor sharp. Debt collectors circled like vultures. Our mother, a freelance artist, had hidden the cracks in her finances, shielding us until the end. But once her name hit the obituaries, the bills came due. They took the house, her studio, our car. All we had left was a duffel bag of clothes and my partial scholarship. Mara's college dreams, our groceries, our rent, it all fell on me. I was her brother, her guardian, her only tether to stability. That first night, alone in a cheap motel, Mara curled up in a borrowed sweatshirt, sobbing. I sat on the carpet, staring at her, and knew no one else was coming. I was it, so I made a vow. I'd finish my degree, work any job, and keep us afloat. I took shifts at a campus diner, drove delivery routes at night, and slept in fragments. Some mornings, I'd stumble into lectures still smelling of grease. My girlfriend Lena tried to stay, but my life was a treadmill set too fast. Canceled plans, missed calls. I let her go, not for lack of love, but because I had nothing left to give. Character isn't built in grand moments, it's forged in the grind of late fees and empty fridges. I carried Mara's future like a weight I couldn't drop. After graduation, I skipped the cap toss and took a job at a logistics firm, crunching numbers in a gray cubicle. It wasn't sexy, but it paid. We moved into a one-room apartment. Mara got the bed, I took the futon. She enrolled in community college, and I cooked us dinners of canned beans and toast. On weekends, I studied online, data systems, cloud computing, anything to sharpen my edge. I didn't know what was coming, but I'd be ready. Opportunity knocked on a stormy Wednesday. An old classmate, Theo, messaged me about a startup he was building with another friend. A tool to streamline corporate workflows. They needed someone to manage operations and charm clients. It was risky, a gamble, but it felt like a pulse after years of numbness. I said yes. My days became a split shift. 9 to 5 in Slacks, answering to bosses who didn't see me, then nights in coffee shops, hunched over laptops with Theo. We coded, scrapped, and rebuilt. One partner bailed after a brutal year of no traction. Theo and I clung on, barely, then a breakthrough. A client tested our platform and cut their processing time by half. Word spread. Demos piled up, emails flooded in, and a tech podcast shouted us out. I still didn't quit my day job. Stability was too hard one to risk. I handled client tickets and bug fixes during lunch breaks, saving every penny. Theo took the stage, the charismatic frontman. I stayed behind the scenes, the engine. That was fine. I wasn't chasing fame. I was chasing a life where Mara could breathe without checking our bank balance. By the time Mara announced her engagement, our startup was a quiet giant, powering firms like Victor Crane's. She called me on a Thursday, voice trembling with joy. Elliot, I'm marrying Caleb. I froze, fork halfway to my mouth. Caleb? I'd met him once, a fleeting handshake. You sure? I asked. She laughed, certain. He's good, Elliot. Really good. I insisted on meeting him properly. Over dinner, Caleb was earnest, warm, clearly smitten, but his last name, Crane, rang a bell. Related to Victor Crane? I asked. He nodded. My dad. Victor, the titan who'd been emailing us with buyout offers, each one dripping with condescension. I kept my face blank. This wasn't about business. It was about Mara. The wedding planning blurred by. At the family meet and greet, Victor sized me up. Shoes, watch, stance, then dismissed me with a glance. Just the brother, he said, his handshake limp. What do you do exactly? I smiled. Corporate work. His eyes glazed over. He didn't care. I didn't either. But a spark in me whispered, wait. The wedding day was perfect. Mara glowed, her joy a quiet victory. I walked her down the aisle, stood for photos, and faded into the reception's hum. Then a waiter tapped me. You're up for a speech? I blinked. Me? No one had told me. But I stood, smoothed my jacket, and took the mic. Good evening, I began, voice clear. I'm Elliot Voss, Mara's brother, but I've been more than that. When our mother died, I was 23. Mara was 16. No parents, no safety net. Just us. The room stilled. I worked days, nights, anything to keep her fed, housed in school. I lost sleep, love, years. But she's here, shining, because she's stronger than I'll ever be. Mara's eyes glistened. While scraping by, I co-founded a startup with my friend Theo. I nodded at him. Some of you use our platform. It powers companies across the country, including Crane Enterprises. Heads turned. Victor's grip on his glass tightened. I don't say this for applause. I say it because it's our story. Mara, Caleb, you've built something real. I'm proud to stand here and say, you're ready. The room erupted. Victor intercepted me as I stepped down, his smile strained. Elliot, quite a speech. You're that Voss? I nodded. Why didn't you say? I met his eyes. I wanted you to see me when you thought I was nothing. He froze. I walked away, clinked glasses with Theo, and let the night carry on. We never sold to Victor. His offers were shiny, but his respect was conditional. We grew our company on our terms, licensing to his firm like any other client. Caleb's different, kind, steady, good to Mara. She's thriving now, teaching, planting flowers, laughing easily. That's my win. People still overlook me, assuming I'm ordinary. I let them. Respect earned in silence is worth more than applause chased with noise. Victor's mistake wasn't misjudging me. It was thinking invisibility meant irrelevance. But I've never needed his gaze. Mara's safe. That's my legacy.